this coffee break, and this time I'm in Stockholm with Phil and with Simon, two of the leaders of Grace Church Stockholm. So I was just going to ask them a few things about what have been going on here and what the vision is. So Simon, starting with you, how has the church emerged and developed in recent times, and what's the sort of vision for it?
So we started about 4 years ago,
yeah.
And it was a core of just a few families. Mm-hmm. Over these 4 years, we've grown into being 4 groups now, meeting in different parts of the city. That's where we are just.
Yeah, and what's been some of the things that God's sort of been doing, some of the highlights?
So God has been really gracious with us. We have seen people being saved. We've seen people being freed from various things, really. We've seen people being healed in the streets, and a lot of people are just taking on the values of generosity and hospitality. Some of you might know that we've had about 160,000 people coming as refugees into Sweden the last year. And I'm really impressed how some of the people in the church have sort of taken that on and really cared for these people. It's amazing to see.
It's tremendous, and I've seen some of the stories. I've heard some of the stories. It really is wonderful, just as an example of good biblical hospitality, really welcoming strangers and welcoming those who have nothing. Even at an early stage of a church plant, just to be so generous is tremendous, really. So what would be the sort of longer term vision? What's the sort of dream?
So we're in a strategic place. Stockholm is an influential city, both in Sweden and in some of the larger regions. It's a reasonably big city, and we have a tremendous need for Christianity in this country, and just taking that on and sort of being a model, I suppose, and taking that on to the next step, having an impact both in our city. But also in our country, and hopefully beyond that as well.
It's interesting that the one of the Enough prayer meetings, at the leadership conference, we were praying for the whole Baltic region. There are a number of church plants, but I guess we'd like to see even more coming up in the future for that whole area. It's a tremendous vision. And vision takes people as well as money and resources and all sorts of things. So if you could, this is your moment to sell the dream. And what kind of people would you say? And obviously God's drawing people in here, and people are emerging within the church already. But sometimes people are up for a new adventure, and they think, I'd like to perhaps give some time, short term, medium term, long term, whatever, to come and help a church plant. What are the kind of people you're looking for at the moment to get you to the next level?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I think because we've got a big vision for the city, we want to see we've got 4 groups now, but we've got a vision to see a disciple-making community in every place where the train or the underground stops, and that's 150 just in Stockholm before we even get to church planting in Sweden and the rest of the region. And so, definitely people are welcome. So we want people who are looking for either to serve families, to help with release leaders who are working here, have got young families, to work with them and help them, be a support to them. Investing in children. There's a lot of children in Grace Church right now, a lot of young children. We want the next generation in Sweden to be growing up holding on to the Christian faith and holding on to Jesus. And so people who've got a heart for children, a heart to help us work with the children we've got from a lot of different nationalities, that would be wonderful. People who are looking to take adventures onto the streets, find people of peace in new communities, so that new places, new meetings, not just that we would draw people to where we are, but we would start new things where people are. We want the gospel to be close to people in every neighbourhood, and people who want to just support and serve that. So it could be short, medium, long term. We'd be really keen to hear from you.
So there's plenty of opportunity there. I know that many of you perhaps watching the coffee break have got friends who you think, even if it's not you might think, I know a friend who might be really interested in that. Well, feel free to share, tweet, Facebook this. There's a tremendous thing happening here. It needs our wholehearted support, not just in prayer, but also in resourcing and standing together with the dear folk here who are really doing a tremendous pioneering work. So if you want to get in contact, then what's the best way to do that, Phil?
Yeah, you can get in contact with us through the website, which is gracechurch.se.
Great. Okay, so you'll be able to send a message there if you want to make some inquiries. So thanks, and enjoy your coffee break.